Live on the internet. I am George, and this is my best buddy,
Jonathan. Also, you can follow me on JDoFPA on Twitch, Twitter, and all that good stuff.
And let's roll the intro. All right, and we don't have really much to talk about today, but it's been a little bit of a wild couple of days since our last stream, and I've done some research on this, and
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Hey, and I don't know, Jonathan, if you're aware of it, but we are actually copyright holders.
Hold on, what?
We are copyright holders.
Okay, what that mean?
What does that mean? It means every time that you and I do this, what we're doing here, we're creating this content, right?
Yeah.
That is our copyright.
Oh.
So if somebody other than you were to capture this, download it, and upload it to their own channel, we can go after them legally.
Okay. Like The Verge did.
Like The Verge did. But there's also what's called fair use. Now, I'm in the top left corner. You're in the middle right hand side. That's what people see. Okay. Now, if somebody were to put themselves like at the bottom, or wherever, it doesn't matter where they put themselves really, but let's say they just put themselves in an open space. It's you and me talking. All right. And they decide, and they're going to interject in what we're talking about. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is fair use, as long as what they're doing is adding or contributing to the content. Now, if they're just sitting there and don't say a word and just look up at me, look over at you, look up at me, look over at you, they're not adding anything to the content. They're just being stupid.
Yeah.
So that's not fair use. If somebody just takes our stream and they can capture it and they decide to re-upload it to their own YouTube channel, we could file a copyright claim. And we could do either a claim or a strike. Now, a claim really doesn't, it's a warning. It doesn't take away anything that they can do. But if that video is monetized, meaning they're making money on it, the money would then come to us and not to them. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Now, what happened with Kyle and what happened to ReviewTechUSA, I finally got him right. And hopefully he never sees this because I've gotten his channel name wrong so many times. But what happened to also ReviewTechUSA, so I got it right twice, is they got a copyright strike. You've violated somebody's copyright. It's taken down. Now, this is a punishment. The content's taken down. So nobody's making money on that video because it's gone. It's taken down. It's not going to be rebroadcast. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you can't live stream like what we're doing, which is what this show is a live stream for 90 days. So that's why, to a lot of YouTubers, a a a copyright strike is like a panic because you can't do what we're doing. Period. For 90 days.
Shit.
Yeah. It's an earthquake. It's an earthquake, everyone.
Drop my phone.
And it's really, I mean, YouTube trusts that what we're doing, because YouTube's not watching us. There isn't someone sitting at YouTube watching what we're doing and going, yep, that's okay. Yep, that's okay. Yep, okay, these guys are doing fine. Yep. That's not what happens. They couldn't employ enough people to do that.
I mean, it's only once in a while they do that.
That's for a manual review, yeah. Generally, you get a manual review after the automated system does something stupid. But that, like I say, I don't know how many people YouTube employs to do that, but whatever. If they had 10 people doing that, that's money that they're paying that we're not.
Yeah.
That doesn't come out of us. When you join YouTube and you agree to be a content creator like you and I, and what we're doing here, we own the copyright to what we're doing. Same thing with Twitch works that way. We own the copyright to it. Twitch and YouTube are allowed to take that content and use it in any way that they want. That is the license that we give them by streaming on their platform. So if YouTube, let's say this show takes off and it's big. If YouTube wants to make a television or an ad with a 30-second clip from whatever show we did or do, we give them that license to do that worldwide. Which, if you think about that, that is pretty amazing. You awake?
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm good.
But
yeah, that is pretty amazing. They came a long way, man. A very, very long way.
what are you doing? Playing a game?
I wish. No. I'm just looking up something real quick, and I can't find it.
That's the way it usually works. You wanna try and find something, and you're not finding it when you want to, but when you don't want to find it, oh well, there it is.
Yeah, it pops up like crazy.
Yeah. So what Vox did, and why everybody is freaking out, is Vox issued a copyright strike to ReviewTechUSA and to Kyle. When what they did is exactly what I described, which was they watched the video and they were commenting in real time. And that is covered under what is called fair use. Unfortunately, you have in law, the law isn't always black and white. You're either innocent or you're guilty. Copyright falls into a gray area. A very gray area. And the analogy I use is Star Wars, Spaceballs. You're familiar with both movies, Star Wars and Spaceballs. Could Lucas have gone after, what the hell's the name? The creators of Spaceballs? Because technically, they stole a lot from Star Wars.
It was hilarious though, man.
It was hilarious, and it was magnificent. It was great.
See, me watching it, I didn't feel like they was like destroying Star Wars at all.
No, they
To
were
me,
making fun of it.
to me, what they was doing, the way it went, it pretty much became its own separate entity.
Not as big, but yeah, but
No, not as big, but it became as like its own thing. Like some movies, like they really try to be like that movie. Like Scary Movie. Like when they make fun of movies, like they really try to like make fun of movies. Spaceballs was making fun of Star Wars, but they didn't like rip like a ton of stuff from Star Wars or recopy certain scenes and
oh
stuff like
yeah,
that.
they did. Yeah, they did.
Not majorly.
Well, like what was his name? The Darth Vader character.
That was hilarious.
The Darth Vader character on
Big Versace
Spaceballs.
Darth Vader helmet.
Dark Helmet. Yeah. All of that is a bigger version of Darth Vader's helmet, and all they did was just made it bigger. That was really all they did.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
But that was still a direct copy of it.
Yeah, but I didn't watch him like, you know what, they tearing Star Wars apart. Like,
No, they did, but they did it with a smile on their face, and they laughed all the way to the bank.
yeah, me too. I laughed all the way to the bank with it, too.
You
I would.
laughed. You laughed all the way to the bank as you were pulling out your money so you could go see that movie.
It's hilarious, man. It's a really good movie. If
Yeah.
you haven't seen it, you should see it.
Oh, it was a hilarious movie. But under the current copyright law, Lucasfilm could not go after them. It is a parody. They make fun of Star Wars to death, and they create everything basically the same from Star Wars, from the desert scene to, I mean, even the look of the ship was similar until it transformed.
Yeah, they do character names and all that. Then
Yeah.
yeah, it's different.
Yeah, they're different, but they're the same. When they're battling with their rings, it's still the same. It's but because it's a parody, that falls under fair use,
Yeah,
which is why it's its own separate creation.
creation.
Now, what Kyle and ReviewTechUSA did was, they put themselves up in the corner and they did real time commentary. They'd run the video for a little bit. They'd pause it. They stop and say, "Hey, this is wrong. This is bad." Blah blah blah. Go into it, review it, and then go on.
Stars.
But the reason it's still and here's the thing is I don't think anybody would really have been talking about this because one thing I wasn't aware of was Vox put that. You're
I'm sorry.
you're a Brad man. They put that up back in September, and they took it down like I guess from what I understand, and I could be wrong. A couple weeks later, or a couple days later, or something like that, they took it down. And so why did they wait? September, October, November, December, January, February. Almost about 5 months they waited to copyright strike these two YouTubers who did videos like within days of that video being up.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, the videos are hilarious, and you should absolutely go to BitWit's channel or TechUS ReviewTechUSA. He's going to kill me if he ever meets me. You should go to his channel to take a look and watch the videos because they are hilarious. But there's one thing in that build that guy did that we showed Thursday that I really got to thinking about. And one thing that he was talking about that is absolutely important even though he's wrong in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's when we were talking about the power supply and the power supply being choked by not getting any air.
Yeah, that was. I don't even want to get back into that. I'm trying to erase it from my mind.
Well, yeah, and you shouldn't, because the case, obviously, the outside of the case, and here's why you should not erase that from your mind, is the outside of that case is perfectly safe. All right, there's really, aside from dropping it on your foot, there's nothing on the outside of that case that's going to hurt you. Okay, especially not being plugged in.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean, if it came like that, and all the sides were covered up, and it worked fine, and you turn it on and boot and everything, you would never know it was like that in the inside. You will never know.
But it's actually dangerous on the inside. If you were to take that,
It is.
if you take that cover off of a power supply, there are components on the inside of that that nobody should be touching, because they are actually, at best, it's going to hurt you. At worst, you're dead. And this is not ha ha playtime. No, this is serious. The coils are, if you touch a coil, that can kill you. That keeps and holds energy. The coils and the capacitors. If you were to open up a power supply casing and take that off, and you touch the wrong thing, like I said, you're either oh wow, that was a jolt, or you're dead. And that's, again, not ha ha. Now, the thing about that, where he was choking it off from getting air, what is dangerous about that is, in modern power supply, that is much less of an issue, because there are temperature sensors in them now that say, okay, I'm getting too hot, it's time to shut down. And they will shut themselves down, shut the system down. And if you just hit the power button to turn it back on, nothing's going to happen. It is not going to power back on. Nothing's going to happen. But if you turn that power supply off and turn it back on, it's going to reset itself. And if you turn that computer back on, it's going to get hot again. It's going to trip that sensor, and it's going to shut back off again. Now,
Yeah, that battery is choked up.
huh?
The power supply is choked up.
Yeah, because it's facing the back of the computer. Now, if something happens and that sensor doesn't say, hey, it's too hot in here, shut off, what happens then?
Could cause a fire.
Exactly.
Burn
That's, go ahead.
Yep, it can burn right up. You have to call the fire department, fire marshal, whatever.
So
You'll be singing hot in here by Nelly.
now, not only you out the $2,000 it cost for those components, you're out a house.
Yeah, and it's not like you salvage anything from it either.
No.
Once you're out of $2,000, you're out of $2,000.
Right.
There's no salvaging anything from it.
And the way he did what he did, when a power supply burns up or blows, anything that power supply touches, and what doesn't it touch? There isn't any part of it that it doesn't touch, can go with it. And I'm not talking about it catches on fire now. I'm talking about it causes an arc that gets sent through the system, and then the power supply dies, and there's no fire, but now your whole system's dead.
Yeah, it's almost like dropping an EMP inside of it.
Right. Well, EMP will disperse. This ain't gonna. It's dead. and it took the whole thing. It took the motherboard, and it could potentially take the motherboard, the processor, the RAM. It could even take some of your data off your hard drive. It probably wouldn't wipe out the whole thing, but it could potentially wipe out some of the data.
Now, well, at least you probably won't have to get a new case.
That would be the only thing.
I'll survive.
That would be the only thing that could. I mean, the case is going to live.
Yeah, and cases aren't expensive anyway, so you're pretty much out of $2,000.
Right, out of the major components. So, and the thing is one thing that I thought of was me being, a content creator who has created content about computers. Is if somebody followed a guide that I did, and I made such an egregious error in it, okay, I would not want people following that guide. I would issue a retraction. I would take it off. I would change it, fix everything, apologize. Apologize.
Something the Verge I don't think did.
No, they didn't. And I would upload a new video with the correct content. I would acknowledge my mistake, and I would move on. I would apologize for it, and I would hope that no one followed that advice or did that build and had a problem. And I'm going to yell at you now because you forgot to remind me to do something, because you forgot to remind me to do it last time, and you're forgetting now.
I know what you're talking about. Tell people they can comment, right?
So you might as well go on. Go ahead.
Well, you guys can comment. We are live. You can write us anything. If you want a question, types of question, or just say hi. It only takes a second. It's only two letters. But the comment section is open for discussion or whatever. If you bring up a topic, we can talk about that as well. So don't be afraid. We're not gonna harass you for typing in the comments or anything, or that you're interrupting us or something like that. We want you to comment and interact and talk.
Excellent. I'm glad you said that, because I couldn't have done better. You did great on that. I could not have said that better myself. And here's the thing that one of the Verge's complaints was about was, I know you watched Kyle's video.
Yeah.
And he did this Lyle, which was an Asian character, and it was hilarious.
Oh goodness! I watched the video I think 3 times.
Did you know Kyle, or BitWit, whatever, is actually half Asian?
I would hope so. Accent's pretty spot on.
Well, and he
was doing a pretty good job with it.
The Verge, in their infinite wisdom, which has nothing to do with copyright, said that his video was racist.
I didn't see any racist thing at all besides him talking about his own heritage.
Well,
and he didn't even say anything bad. It was just my family in China, who built this, or laughing at us and
are cringing really bad.
Yeah. He didn't say anything he didn't say, "Oh, my family in China, in a sweatshop, working hard to build this thing just for him to destroy it or something like that."
Well,
he didn't say anything bad. It was all funny. I didn't take any racism from it at all, or any criticism, except from the actual video. But there was no racism in the video, but criticism, yeah.
Well, and that leads me to this question. I'm 100% Italian. My grandparents on both sides, my mother and father, my grandparents, all 4 of them, came over from Italy. They were the 4 that came over from Italy, produced my parents, met, and produced me. All right, so that makes me Italian. All right, so I'm Italian. You're obviously from Mexico, right?
Huh? What?
You weren't paying attention.
Don't be saying that, man. You having Trump social service or Secret Service trying to hit me up and checking my background. No, don't be doing that. No, I am not from Mexico. I am African American.
I would have thought Alaska, personally.
Don't be doing that, man. I don't need no knock at my door. Tell me, let me see your paper.
I said Alaska. That's still in the United States. I didn't say Canada.
I know, but still, I don't want to. I don't need no. You said Mexico at first, and that's probably the only thing they would hear. Like, hold on, we got another one.
Yeah, FBI is watching a stream. Hello, hello.
Get a knock at my door. Oh, let me see your documents.
Your papers, please. But I'm Italian. You're African American.
Well, yeah, why don't you sneak over here?
Yeah, I'm Italian American. You're African American. What am I, as an Italian, not permitted to say as an Italian?
I don't know. What are you not permitted to say?
I don't know. You, as an African American, what are you allowed to say about being African American that you wouldn't be allowed to say?
I don't know. I didn't know there was something I wouldn't love to say.
Well, I mean, if you call me a cracker, you wouldn't be wrong. I'm, as white.
I like crackers.
I'm as white as the day is long. But,
I like crackers at some point. They're just too dry. Got you want soup.
Yeah. And the point is if the guy is half Asian, he was playing a character that, or a stereotypical Asian.
Yeah. I mean that's totally fine. It's.
According to The Verge,
it's his own heritage.
According to The Verge, it's racism.
Come on, man. You got comedians who talk about black and whites all the time, and then nobody goes and like, oh, they're racist. No, they're just making a joke, and they're comedians. That's what they get paid to do. You don't go to their show and then they make as a black comedian make a white joke or something like that. They don't stand up and like, oh, you're racist. No, they just laugh and get going. No, same thing. But white comedian make a joke about like black people or something. They don't get up like, oh, you're racist. Oh, I knew it, or something. I want my money back. No, it's a joke, and they know that's what you're going there for. It's a joke, and you're going there for a good laugh.
And maybe you just didn't think that was funny, but you know what?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Years back, a lot of comedians did get criticism, for certain jokes and stuff like that. But as time went on, like people weren't learn to let the stuff go because they're not going to stop, using their jokes at work and getting them paid and everything just because you have an issue with it. They're not there for you to sit there and like them because you already paid for that ticket. So as long as you're there, you already paid that money and they got their job to do.
Right. I mean, their job is to entertain and make you laugh, and hopefully that's what they do. But
I mean, there are some comedians that bomb. So,
yeah. I mean, there are some comedians that bomb, and what was it? Andrew Dice Clay? He was one of the ones that pushed the envelope. But
what was the other one that always pushed the envelope? A lot of people had good and bad feelings about him. He passed away a while ago. I know Chris likes him a lot. Damn, what was that guy's name?
George Carlin and George.
Carlin. Yeah. He spoke a lot of truth and everything about the government and all that, and he got a lot of feedback and everything like that. But most of the stuff he was right about, and it had you think. His stuff actually made you think about stuff that's actually going on.
Well, I was very fortunate a very long time ago that I was able to see him live. At the when we had a Funny Farm Comedy Club around here, was in Boardman, and I got to see him. And the thing I really enjoyed his show But the thing that the part he started it off not being a comedian to being uh, to giving a speech, and it was like it's not what I came here for, man. I came here to relax and have a good time and watch a good show because that is something that was the first time I've ever done that, and especially to see somebody who, I have his album somewhere. Those seven things you can't
Somewhere.
shut up. The seven things you can't say on TV. I have that somewhere around here. I think in the closet, but um, and to actually be able to see him, on stage it was amazing. But for the first like 15, 20 minutes, he was just going on about this political speech. It's like, oh, I didn't come here for a seminar. I came here to laugh. And what he did, he nailed it. He killed it. It was great. It was funny. But for the first 15 minutes of his show, is like, oh God, why did I pay money for this? And I thought, because I'm thinking, oh God, this is the whole, I paid to see, I wanted to come see a comedian. This is just false advertising now. But there's two comedians I got to see so far in my life. George, I want to say Carlin, but maybe is that it? Is it George Carlin? Yeah, George Carlin, and oh God, the guy with the puppets that Chris likes too. Who's the guy with the puppets?
I can
Jeff
see
Dunham.
Jeff Dunham. I was like, I can see his face and everything. I just can't get his name.
Yeah, I got to see him before he became huge, and his show was just comedy from the time he walked on stage to the time he walked off stage. It was hilarious.
Yeah, he does a great job. Not everyone can take a puppet and turn it into something amazing like that.
I do it with you, on Thursdays. I just
shut up.
You're not sitting there at your house. You're actually sitting beside me, and that's why this arm is always over here.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. That'd be a great trick. You should be getting paid a lot of money for all that.
If I could do that, I should be paid a lot of money for that.
Yeah, I do it with my dog too.
Where's Lucky?
Somewhere.
Well, I'm sure he'll show up sooner or later.
I messed with the cat this time, so I don't know where he is. Yeah, he might be. He messed with the cat. I don't know.
But I mean, I realize that it's long drawn out, and now, and the thing that irked everybody about The Verge is, yeah, they're a media outlet, but they're a tech media outlet. A lot of people, including me, I watched some of their reviews. I've watched some of their, we've quoted some of their articles on here and talked about it.
Oh yeah.
And they don't have bad content, but it's everybody. It's like, how do I say this? It's like somebody you know and trust that all of a sudden turns into your enemy.
Yeah, that's not a good feeling either.
Right, and that's why I think everybody's reacted to this so amazingly on YouTube. But the funny thing is when you signed up to be a content creator with YouTube, you did get the access to the Bat Signal app, right?
Bat Signal?
Yeah, because it shows up on your phone. They also have this beautiful thing. It's round. It stands about yay tall.
Bat Signal?
Yeah, it has a signal of a bat in front, and then they shine into the clouds, and it's a call for all of us to come to another YouTuber's aid.
Oh, I didn't get that.
It's just, dude. I mean, it's Android, which is Google, which owns YouTube. It's certainly they gave you access to it. I know they gave you access to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Verge, because the Verge acted like such a victim over this, and it's like, no, there's just a lot of people in this world that know what you did was horrible, and they want to make it clear that nobody should build this thing that way, that it could potentially be dangerous, that it could catch on fire if that temperature sensor were to fail and not go off while that fan is facing the chassis and not pulling air in from the vents on the side. That could potentially cause a fire.
Yeah, that just looking at the picture, man, like it just looks like a hazard.
And that's and if somebody spent $2,000 and for some odd reason thought, okay, this video is something that it could and should follow because it is from a reputable content creators, The Verge, they're credible. Up until that video, they were, and they followed along. They're potentially they're going to potentially destroy their stuff right out of the box.
Do you bleed?
Huh?
You will.
What?
I don't know.
Or, it is something bad is going to happen sooner or later. But
yeah.
And that's why everybody was so up in arms. And to the same way, it gave everybody that does this stuff a bad name. You playing music?
No, not really.
Well, you're going to get a copyright strike.
No, it's all right. You can't really hear it that well.
It don't matter.
It's all right.
It don't matter.
It won't pick it up because my mic's not picking it up.
Actually, I'm picking it up.
Oh, you'll be all right.
But something big happened with you this week.
Did it? Oh, me. Yeah, something did happen. Big,
like, other than Valentine's Day.
I ain't no half free on Valentine's Day.
So let's see, we did, we were thinking about...
Actually, yeah, it did happen on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it did. But, like, you celebrated Valentine's on Tuesday or something, didn't you? Kind of.
I guess so. But, yeah, I got fired from Red Lobster.
Why'd you get fired?
For going to my daughter's student-teacher conference.
What did they expect you to do, though?
They expect me to come in to work when I don't work Tuesdays or Thursdays because of appointments and stuff like that. And I blacked my schedule out. But they took upon themselves to go in and change my schedule on their own.
Oh, what did they expect you to work?
5:30 on Valentine's Day. Just because it was Valentine's Day and they was going to be busy, and they wanted me to drop everything and come in.
There's a gentleman on Twitch saying his name is Believe Official. He says, hey. He says hello.
Hello. What's his name?
Believe Official.
Believe Official.
Nice.
Well, hello, Believe Official.
You're welcome to the show. And then, I'm sorry, but it was 3 o'clock till when?
It was 5:30 to
5:30.
like till whenever they, pretty much till whenever they were done with me.
So whatever time they just decided to close up the store.
Yeah, they closed at 11, but I'm pretty sure I would have stayed longer to do other bull crap.
Which, I mean, you normally do, because sometimes you send me a text to, hit me up and What you up to, and while you're waiting on them. Uh, but that's wrong. You have a schedule. You said, hey, I can work every day except these 2 days. Blah blah. And there's
Yeah.
more than just those 2 days you can't work because you have another job.
Yeah, and my other job respects that schedule, and they have no issue with me having those 2 days off at all.
And um, and then you have this job.
Yeah, I can see if it was a major holiday like Christmas or what else? A big holiday, um, Christmas or Thanksgiving or something like that. Then yeah, I can understand why you'll be upset or whatever, and then you want to fire me or whatever and stuff. But it was Valentine's Day. It's not really a big holiday. You don't get school off on it. There's no special events that really happen. There's nothing big that's going on. There's no stores closing early. It's just technically another day that you're out spending money for your significant other.
And in their defense, but no, what they did was wrong in that you have this arrangement with them. You told them, and when you went in there, I know you did. That you told them Tuesday, Thursday, no.
Yeah, we did this months ago, like when I first started, and they put me on a Thursday, and then I like checked them, and we got it settled. That was like months ago, and then they told me to go in and black it out the days I can't work, so I did that. I did what they asked. I blacked it out. Then no issue ever since. But just because it's Valentine's Day, all hands on deck.
Well, you know what? And I thought about this,
And I'm sorry, my daughter had a teachers conference on that day. I can say Valentine's Day fell on a Friday. No big deal, because I normally work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday anyway. No biggie. But it fell on a day I don't work. So I what you want me to do? Just drop everything and just tell my daughter I can go to her conference and see how she's doing in school just because y'all want me to be there?
now I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this way, and under no uncertain terms should this be taken racially, because that is true of all of us. When you're hired by a company or whatever, you work for them at this time to that time, and that is what's you agreed to, and that's fine. But they don't own you.
No.
They do not. They do not have the option of saying, well, if you don't come in at the drop of the hat whenever we want you to, we're going to fire you. They can do that, but to the same token, you need to lose. If you want me to respect your time, I expect you to respect my time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because you think it's going to be busy, that all of a sudden I need to rearrange my whole life, even though we have this prearranged thing that, hey, I can't work on these days, but they have this false emergency that we need everybody into work. They don't own you, and nor should they have fired you. My opinion.
I mean, that's whatever. I really don't care. I was been supposed to be done anyway. I only picked it up for Christmas, for extra hours for Christmas. I just stuck in there just for the hell of it, just to give me something to do on weekends. And it's I stayed, just because it wasn't like super hard. I put up with their BS and everything every week, and I was like, you know what? I was gonna stick in there until I'm ready to leave on my own terms. And then I was getting ready to leave on my own terms, and do it the right way and all that. But no, they just because they put me on a day I don't work, and then they want me to come in. Also, it's a day I don't work. Also, my daughter has her student teacher conference at the same time. You want me to come in to work, and what you want me to do? Just say, tell my daughter and the teachers, sorry, I can't show up. because I got to work because it's important for me to work on Valentine's Day.
No, that's your daughter, and that's your number one priority.
It's
And
not like you're getting no time and a half working on this holiday at all. You're not getting extra hours, I mean extra time or a little bit extra money or anything.
right, and it's just that, oh, we're expecting that we're going to be busy. Okay, well, do the best you have with what you got, because that's all you ever do. Period.
Yeah. I mean, when we worked at Sears and um, we worked on, we had the the regular BS holidays and then we had the major holidays. We work on the regular BS holiday like Valentine's Day or something like that. Um, we didn't get any extra money or anything for coming in
No.
or any of that. But if we came in like on Thanksgiving night, you got your additional 5 hours, for your time and a half or your pay rate added on already, because it's a major holiday.
But there is. Let me see if I could find it. There's one thing. Shucks. Oh, here we go. And this is about the Southern Park Mall. I did click that. So let's see. There we go. Some Southern Park Mall businesses lose power, close early. Several stores in the Southern Park Mall in Boardman lost power about 7 p.m. and closed their places of business. Others, such as Dillard's, JCPenney's, were said to remain open till normal closing hour for mall stores at 9 o'clock. Among those without power was Macy's. It is not immediately known what caused the power loss. Ohio Edison reported 40 customers in Mahoning Valley were without power. How much you want to bet if Sears was still at the Southern Park Mall, even if the power was out, they'd have stayed open?
Yeah, yeah, I don't doubt it. They'd have stayed open.
Yeah. They'd have oh no, y'all, there's no power, there's nothing you can do here, but we're going to keep you here anyway. But we're going to keep you here anyway, and we're just going to stay open. You know how many times they pulled that stuff with us, like especially when it was inclement weather. They would say, advisory: get off the road, don't get on the road, blah blah blah. And the mall would shut down. The mall would go on the radio or whatever on the radio. It would an television saying, Eastwood Mall, Southern Park Mall, they're closed. All right?
Yeah.
But they never said they're closed, but Sears is still open.
Of course.
And Sears would stay open. And I'm like, if the mall shut down, yeah, Grant, at the time we had our own doors other than the mall door, we'd have to shut the mall door. But why aren't we going home?
Because they're afraid they're going to miss something.
They're going to miss that penny. They're going to miss that dollar after they spent 10 in the hole for keeping the lights on and paying everybody.
Yeah. They're afraid they're going to miss that extra $5.
That they're going to lose because they have to pay for everything to keep everything going and open.
I mean, there were days like holidays like Black Friday. Like we didn't really necessarily need to be open, especially coming in Thanksgiving Day. It was like the stupidest thing ever.
Oh, that was ridiculous. Once that started, I really hoped that it was, and the guilty party is Sears. Sears started that. Sears was the first retailer to come out and say, we're going to be open on Thanksgiving. Sears is the one that did that. And so, of course, everyone's followed now.
And it was stupid. It's the stupidest thing. Like, open up 6 o'clock and then stay open until what, midnight, I think, or 1, some places.
Shut down and then reopen at 4 or 5 or whatever.
Yeah, that's stupid.
We would,
Especially when you know you're not going to make anything. We know you're not going to have that customers you used to have and all that. When you know this and you still want to still go for it, that's stupid.
And it really was. I mean, we would, and I'll admit, Black Friday now isn't what it used to be. And
No.
that's for the best, because Black Friday was a nightmare. There would be people literally lined up the door and down the side of the building. And we had 4 exterior doors. And I'm talking
I got to be Black Friday.
Yeah, every Black Friday. And
I got to be Black Friday. Why can't it be White Friday? Or Brown Friday?
Because you're
Why
going
got to be Black Friday?
Do you know why it's called Black Friday?
Because it's racist.
Yeah, that's why.
Exactly why.
Okay. Go look it up. But and there would be people, there would be lines. I was coming in at 4 o'clock, and there was a line at the back door because we only were allowed to come in the back door. So I was coming through the back door, and there was such a big line. People thought I was cutting in the line. And fortunately, I had taken my name tag home the night before, and I was coming in, and because a guy stopped me, it said, "You're cutting in line." I said, "I work here," and I happen to have it around my neck. So I held it up to him. I says, "I work here. If you want waited on when you walk in that door, and we open the doors for the public, then you'll get out of my way." That's how bad it was. Nowadays, it's not as bad because a lot of the deals, you can get them early. You can get them a week or 2 ahead of time. So things are much more spread out.
Black Friday. Yeah.
All right. Everything is it's much more spread out. So there doesn't need to be this absolute rush and people waiting. I remember Best Buy, people were camping out.
They still do. They still do.
I'm sorry, but if I'm Best Buy or I'm the mall, because the mall actually owns that location, I'd be saying trespassing. Go home.
That's the shocking thing about it, man. They still do. They still do camp out there.
Why? Why?
Especially when the new iPhone come out. Oh man, forget about it.
Why? Especially an Apple product. I'm sorry.
They be out there flipping hot dogs.
If
the store to open,
our man.
Yeah. You want one?
Yeah, I got turkey at home. First of all, I wouldn't be out there. Our man Javon, who's a big Apple fan, he should not watch Louis Rossmann Group on YouTube. I would absolutely not suggest that he watch Louis Rossmann Group on YouTube, because what Louis Rossmann does is he is a computer component repair shop in New York, and he does nothing but fix MacBooks. That's all he does. His whole business model is just fixing MacBooks. And he does do some stuff with iPhones. So, what would you suggest for Javon?
I don't know. Ain't nothing you can really suggest. You don't stick with Apple no matter what.
You wouldn't suggest he jump ship?
Man, I already tried, and it ain't worked. Failed attempt.
What did he used to say about Apple? It would be like, they come up with a concept, and they work at it until it's perfect. You remember that? He would say perfect.
Yeah.
And then they put it out. Like,
Oh
No,
man,
no, no.
stupid.
I would just like roll on the floor for that. But uh, so what do you think of Red Lobster now? You gonna take the wife out there anytime soon?
If I do, I'm gonna leave him a nice little 75-cent tip if I do go out there.
Well, it's not the waitress or waiter that
Oh
fired you,
well, it don't matter. They're gonna suffer just like I suffer.
but it's not the waitress. No, the waitress or the waiter are already suffering because they got to put up with you now.
Yeah, but still, they
There's
wanna they want some of that money too. So I'm gonna go leave him a nice little 75-cent tip. Order the cheapest thing on the menu.
is there anything
Just spend like an hour there for no reason.
is there anything you're aware of that they make that they lose money making?
Oh yeah, a lot of things.
That
Especially like their bread, man. They lose so much money because so much bread go to waste at the end of the night. It's not even funny. They don't take it and donate it to a homeless shelter or anything, man. It just goes straight in the garbage.
well, then what you should do is go there and order just that.
I mean, some places like will donate it, and I don't understand why they don't. It's not like they don't have the money to. Instead of just going straight in the trash, they could take it, donate it to a shelter or something like that. But no, I mean, once in a blue moon, they do it because they get credit for it. But just to do it like every night out of the kindness of their heart, and just have someone drop it off, no, forget about it. They ain't doing that. I seen so much stuff go to waste. It's not even funny.
Well, unfortunately, now I don't know if it's still a law, but one thing I was made aware of is there's actually a law that and I think it's still in the books. I could be wrong because I'm not a lawyer. That if they were to donate that bread to the Salvation Army or whatever, if somebody gets sick on that bread, they could go after them legally.
I mean, there was nothing wrong with the bread. You know, it was still good.
But that's once it's out of their hands, how do they know what happened with that bread? But they're
Well,
still
I would
liable.
get someone from Salvation Army to come there with me and then watch me load it up.
But not to say somebody at Salvation Army didn't do something to it after you left.
Well, yeah, you're right.
And and like I said, unfortunately, that is, I'm not I think that's stupid as far as it being a law. And like I said, and that may still be the law. I might be wrong, but I know that used to be the law. And hopefully I'm wrong, but I suspect I'm probably not. It probably is still a stupid law that they're liable for, donating whatever. And that's why a lot of food banks they don't get stuff because of those liability laws, liability issues, because they know that food bank doesn't have the money. Where they got it from probably has money.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if you're trying to do the right thing, then do it. No, whatever. It's kind of messed up.
Don't let any good deed go unpunished. Remember that one?
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Good old saying.
What you looking at?
Just reading about Ben Affleck.
Oh, what's going on with Ben Affleck?
He's not playing Batman anymore.
I thought, is that new?
Oh yeah, it came out this week.
I thought he stopped doing that for a little while ago. Maybe.
Yeah, but he made an official statement now.
Oh, okay.
Done. No, playing Batman. Which I'm kind of sad to see him go. I think he did an amazing job. Some people will disagree, but I think he did an amazing job. I was playing the older Batman. I think he did great.
What are you saying there, old man?
What?
What are you saying there, old man? You saying everybody else is older? Is old?
No, I'm saying he did a great job playing an older Batman. Playing an older Bruce Wayne. Did an amazing job. I enjoyed his performance. I wish he got his own standalone movie first before they did all this other stuff. But the only thing I did hate about it was them doing, telling the parents' dead story again.
Yeah, unfortunately, I guess we'll probably, if they do resurrect another Batman, that
They are 2021
you know what?
younger Batman.
If I were the people playing Batman's parents, I would absolutely sue the studio. Just because, how many times do they have to die?
I don't know. And I think it's probably gonna be a reboot too. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna retell the story again.
So it's going to be a flop again.
I'm not watching it because I'm not watching this story over again.
Yeah, it's
Tired of it.
Hollywood, come up with something new.
Well, you better tell Warner Brothers that.
I'm going to tell all of Hollywood that. Please come up with something new.
What? And skip all the remakes we can do out there? We can remake so much stuff? Nah, we ain't gonna do that.
Things are dead. All right? And some things need to remain dead as far as, I'm not talking about people, of course. I'm talking about shows. Like bringing back Friends, okay?
Or Pet Cemetery.
Or whatever. It was
I can't believe they
made,
bring that back.
it was made this, and that. And it didn't continue. It's not continued. It's died long ago. Let it die.
They also remade the Poltergeist, which I really hated that they remade because I enjoyed the original.
Or come up with something new.
Nope. Why do that? That takes too much time.
Oh, well, it takes time and money.
Let's resurrect something else.
But they're going to... I mean... Why did you... Okay, I get Ben Affleck isn't going to be playing Batman anymore. I get it. I understand. Why can't you continue from where it was? Why do you have to start all over again?
Because they're making a younger Batman, so they can't just go back in time or something like that.
Yes, it's a movie.
No, to them it don't make sense.
To me, it doesn't make sense to have to watch Bruce Wayne's parents die again.
Most likely.
And it's not like it's different every time. Die the same way. Every stupid time.
So that was a good thing that Marvel did with Spider-Man Homecoming when they rebooted it. They didn't have Ben Parker die again.
Sorry, I was getting a drink.
Which they did, of course, in the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And then, after he was done, they redid it with the Amazing Spider-Man. And then they learned their lesson after that with Homecoming. They didn't do that. They did not do the Ben Parker dying part at all.
And I agree. It's like, I'm sorry. Here's an old phrase. Stop beating a dead horse. If you're going to do a movie, continue where you left off. Especially, it's the same production house doing it. It's still Warner Brothers doing it. It's not like it's somebody else doing it.
Yeah, you're right.
They continue, and that's what the advantage with Marvel is. They keep moving the story along.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. DC does an amazing job for their animated movies. Their animated movies are amazing. They're just great, good storytelling, everything. But their movies, man, they just can't nail it, man. I mean, they did an amazing job with Aquaman, but that's about it.
And here's the thing. I think
Wonder Woman was good too. I'm not gonna lie. Wonder Woman was all right. It moved very slow. It was pretty boring, watching it until you have those good key parts.
What movie was that again?
Wonder Woman. It just took
Wonder
a while.
Woman, yeah.
It took a while to get the train going.
Oh, they were counting on you focusing on one thing.
No, that's all right. I didn't try to focus on Gale at all.
What? She's not pretty. You're saying she's ugly.
I'm not saying that at all, but that's not what I'm watching it
Oh,
for.
I know.
I'm watching for storytelling, something to get me going, get me the edge of my seat. That's the reason I go and either pay for a movie or I don't.
But just continue with the story. Don't start it all over again, please. Why? When it's like Star Trek, everybody's boo-hooing Star Trek Discovery. At least it's not it's the same subject, okay? Sci-fi, science fiction, but they don't. It's a different story, and the thing I think why people don't like it so much is Star Trek episodes were, a section of time and didn't have like seasons where what they've done is they've gone to a season long story. So you have less episodes starting and stopping. Like, okay, this is where it goes, as you get a bit here that you have to watch the next episode to get the next bit. And that's where I think that they changed in Star Trek that a lot of people don't like.
Yeah.
But they didn't like do another remake of the original series, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, which I didn't like at all, and now with Discovery.
Yeah, I'm not a Star Trek fan, so.
But well, the thing is they just didn't like try and remake their old stuff. They're trying to come up with something new and keep the story moving forward. But something like Batman, we're gonna have, if we go see that movie, or anybody that does go see that movie, if they're familiar with Batman, they're gonna have to sit through that initial whole storyline all over again.
Yep.
And it's not like they can't go read the comic book.
Nope. Why do that? We're going to what's name? But we're over our point already. Darn it.
Oh yeah, hour 7 minutes, and we will be back on Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel, and I'm George, and this is my best buddy
Jonathan. And then, like I said, you guys can follow us on JWFPA, our Twitch, Twitter, all that good stuff. Also, like I said earlier, like George told me, guys can comment. Comment, talk, chat, whatever. We want to hear from you. We're not gonna attack you or bite you or anything. Trust me, we're fine. We got muzzles on. So just hit us up, man. Thank you guys for watching, and whenever you do, or if you're watching now, thank you.
Yeah, please please subscribe, please follow on Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube to my channel, Jonathan's channel. If you'd like to, hit us up. We have a website. It is theanythinggoes.com. Right now, only the episodes tabs works. I'm working on it to get it up and running and get it going. And I can run the outro. Everybody have a wonderful week, and we will see you guys on Thursday.
Thank you guys for watching. Peace.